Okay, circularization part 3, and this is going to be the last video on this topic for now. But there were a few things I saw on the second page of the additions to the circularization policy that I felt that we needed to address. And the first one is talking about using our access to databases, e-membership, you're not to use that for purposes outside of the DAR. You can go and read it for yourself, see everything that it says, but that shouldn't be any issue with what we're doing. Everything we're doing is official DAR business. We're trying to spread the word about a duly adopted motion by the Martha Laird chapter to endorse the national bylaws according to Article 21. So there's that. The next one talks about the prohibition of publicizing confidential or private information. We're not doing that. And then the next one talks about the DOC, the Daughters Online Community. We don't even fool with that because they shut it down so quickly. But the last one is the one that I really wanted to touch on because it gives me an opportunity to talk about something that I have thought is very wrong and frankly offensive in that, well, let me just read it first and then I'll go into more detail. It says, members are prohibited from harassing or abusing other members in any forum or manner, including cyberbullying and doxing, using offensive, insulting, or debasing language, and or deliberate intimidation or threats of violence. So the first thing I want to say is that as all of you admins out there know of any kind of a Facebook page or group that has hundreds or even thousands of members on it, it is incredibly difficult to make sure that every single comment that goes up is something that is not a violation of the rules. So if you look at our group rules, we do our best to make sure that we treat everybody with respect. We don't want to single out anybody. Again, go read the rules and you'll see where our heart and our spirit is with the restoration group. Do comments go up sometimes that we don't condone or endorse? Absolutely, and we do our best to get those down as quickly as possible. We've got new moderators now that are helping me keep an eye on that, so that is something that is it's a issue, but we do our best to make sure that we keep everything on the up and up in that regard. The last thing is this talk about threats of violence, and it's a good segue into something that has really offended me and that I think is just plain wrong, and it needs to be addressed, is that there have been state regents who sent out mass emails accusing this small but vocal group, which is us, of making threats of violence and death threats. And the reason why I think that is so wrong and offensive is because if that has happened, then that means that there would be proof of that. And if there's proof of that, then that means that there should be expulsions and that there should be arrests, indictments, prosecutions, all of it. There should be real consequences for that. And so the fact that you haven't seen any of that, and the fact that I've not seen any of that, and I don't have, all the ladies I talk to are sweet, good, kind ladies, patriotic ladies. So the blanket statement that there have been, threats of violence and death threats, basically insinuating that it has come from us, is just wrong. That is a low ball. It's a tactic used to intimidate and silence us. And do I say that there have been no threats of violence or death threats against those in leadership? I'm sure there have been. That's the nature of the world we live in, but I don't believe they've come from other members, and certainly not from the women in our group and our efforts. These are good, sweet Christian ladies. So I just think that it's a dirty lowball tactic, and I hate to say it that way because I know we're talking about women that hold positions of leadership, and I want to respect them. Like I said before, at least respect the office they hold. But the truth of the matter is that doing that is wrong. It's wrong to do that. It's wrong to accuse members of something so serious when you don't have proof of that, and when it's obviously done in an attempt to just discredit us and silence us. So that is something I've wanted to put out there for a while, and it's such a heavy topic that it's been difficult to address. But this gives me the opportunity to do that. So, lastly, I want to just remind everybody again what our mission is, which is to restore and preserve the DAR. It's something that is worth saving. It's something that is an iconic American cultural institution, and it's not something we can just cede to those that would see it destroyed from within. So remember to pray, to seek God's guidance and wisdom on this, and remember that we can see a victory and that we believe in restoration, not because of who we are, but because of who He is.